Hi, I'm Tara and welcome back to my channel. You might be looking for something different to make for Easter this year, so I'm going to show you a dinner idea that you might like. Something a little bit lighter. Today I'm going to show you how to make pistachio crusted baked salmon and pesto scalloped potatoes. First, we're going to start with the scalloped potatoes. You are going to need 4 pounds of Yukon Gold potatoes, 2 cups of whole milk or whatever milk you prefer. I'm using an unsweetened oat milk, 1 cup of chicken broth or chicken stock, 3 tablespoons of butter, 4 large cloves of garlic, large cloves, a small or half of a large yellow onion, thinly sliced. So we've got some nice slices here. 1.5 teaspoons of salt, a half teaspoon of pepper, and a teaspoon of dried thyme. Now, if you have fresh thyme, you could put a couple of teaspoons in. I have 2 cups of sharp cheddar cheese, and then a half a cup of grated Parmesan cheese. I also have a 1/4 cup of flour. And for kind of an herby mix-in, to make it just a little different than the normal scalloped potatoes, I'm going to stir into the sauce that we're going to make some of this pesto. First, you want to go ahead and peel your potatoes, and then we're going to slice them in about 1/8 of an inch slices on the mandolin. Okay, so once you have your potatoes peeled, you want to go ahead and slice the potatoes into 1/8 of an inch slices or so. So what you do with these is grab a knife and cut your potato in half so you have a flat surface. That's the safest way, I think. This slides right off. You just kind of want to place your potato above the blade, and you're just gonna use this. It's got sharp parts right here. You're gonna kind of just press down. It's never gonna stick into it to where it'll stay, but it's giving you a grip and keeping your hand away from the blade, because some of these mandolins can get scary, right? So let's try a couple of swipes at this setting. I'll go like this so you can see. Okay. That's still pretty damn thin. So I'm gonna go to the fattest setting, basically, and see how that goes. Now you just wanna press down a bit so that you can, all right, that's that's actually perfect, I think. So if you can see how thick that is. I don't know if this is 1/8 of an inch, but it's as thick as it's gonna get with this, so that's what we're going with. So you want to do this with all of the potatoes. Done. We got a whole bowl of sliced potatoes. All right. Let's go over here and cook the onions, make a roux so that we can make delicious sauce. Okay, so we are going to turn on the heat to medium-high heat, and we are going to add our 3 tablespoons of butter. Okay, once it's melted, go ahead and add your onions. And it is going to start smelling good right away. Now that the onions are nice and soft and fragrant, I'm going to go ahead and add the garlic, which I already ran through a garlic press, since there were 4 large cloves, so this is all mashed up from the garlic press. Now, if it didn't already smell amazing, now it really smells amazing. Okay, so after about a minute tops, because you don't want to burn the garlic, and you really don't even want the garlic to brown, go ahead and add your flour, your 1/4 cup of flour. Now this is going to cook and soak up all of this butter. And this is how we start to make our roux. This is going to help us make the creamy sauce that gets poured over the potatoes, and this flour part is going to help thicken that sauce. So we are just going for a very light golden brown color to our flour. We're really just cooking out the raw flour taste, and that's really it. So we'll start by adding the cup of chicken stock. Right away, you hear it sizzle, and you want to go right for those areas where the flour is kind of stuck to the bottom, and take that whisk, and as you slowly add the liquid, you want to whisk it and get all of the brown parts off of the bottom. All right, so again, slowly add your milk so we can combine the two liquids and whisk in your roux. So we're gonna add our salt, pepper, and thyme, all ready to go. Stir that in. Smells amazing. I wanna add some pesto to this sauce as well. So I just got some store-bought pesto from Costco, and I'm gonna start with a heaping teaspoon, I think 2 heaping teaspoons, and I'm gonna stir that in, kind of see how that looks. So just get a spoon and taste a little bit. Yeah, that's really good. And it's not too overpowering with the pesto, so I think we're good there. So go ahead, and I'm just gonna put the lid on and move this over to the side. And get the dish that you're going to be putting your scalloped potatoes in. And you wanna grease the dish, so I'm gonna go ahead and just put a little bit of olive oil in there, and then just brush it around. If you've got oil spray, or if you want to use butter, whatever you have, whatever you want to use. Okay, so you want to take half of your sliced potatoes and just arrange them on the bottom in one layer. So, you know, we could just go and do this, or, you know, do this. Because good Lord, how long would that take, right? So, and then just, you know, move them around so that they're in a nice kind of flat layer. Okay, I think we're good. I think we're good, you know.
What are you making?
Scalloped potatoes.
Oh, I love scallop.
Yeah, good. All right, so you want to take half of the sauce and pour it over the potatoes. So I'm actually gonna go weigh this and see how much sauce I have total. I ended up with about 32 ounces of sauce. So I'm taking half of that and pouring it over. Then take half of your cheddar cheese, sprinkle that over top evenly, and all of your Parmesan cheese. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be so good. So now we are gonna top this with the rest of the potatoes. I'm gonna go ahead and be a little more careful because this is the part that you're gonna see, right? So let's go ahead and take the time to do it this way. Honestly, I just don't think that the first layer, that it really matters if you do that. So here is the other half of the cream sauce. Pour that evenly. So all of these potatoes have this amazing sauce. I can't believe I haven't poured any of this onto the stove yet. That is real talent. And top it with the rest of your cheddar cheese. So just evenly so it looks nice. Okay. All right, grab a piece of tin foil and cover the dish. And again, you have your oven heated up to 400 degrees and pop it in your oven for 30 minutes. Okay, so it's been about 30 minutes or so. So we will take this out. And I'm going to remove the aluminum foil. And so now we're going to put it back into the oven for another 25 to 30 minutes or until the potatoes are cooked through and it basically looks done. All right, it is time to check the potatoes. Woo. Here they are. You can see they're bubbling all around the edges here. And we want to check to see if the potatoes are tender and cooked through. So you should be able to just pierce them with a fork easily. And I can. So since this is bubbling a lot, we want to let this sit for quite a while, which is good because we have to make the salmon next. So we're going to put this over on the stove so it can hang out, which will help thicken the sauce and it won't be too hot to eat. So we will taste this at the end when we taste the salmon. Speaking of salmon, I seem to be missing salmon. I have all my other ingredients, but I don't have any salmon. Okay, so I can fix this, I can fix this. I am going to order some salmon right now. So I'm just gonna go and order some salmon. All right, should be here any second.
Here you go.
Thank you, Roman. Okay. Well, that was fast, huh? All right, so first we are gonna take a small bowl. Move this over a little bit. And to that bowl, we're gonna add 1.5 tablespoons of lemon juice, 3 teaspoons of olive oil, so 1, 2, 3. 3 teaspoons of honey, 1.5 teaspoons of Dijon mustard, and a couple of cloves of garlic ran through the garlic press. And then just whisk them together. All right, and then set that aside. We're gonna take another bowl and add a little less than 1/2 cup of panko breadcrumbs. Now, it just depends on how much salmon you have. This is a couple of fillets that is, I think it's a little over 2 pounds of salmon. So it's whatever you have. For this amount, it's a little less than 1/2 cup. So we're gonna add that to our bowl. Okay, and about 1/2 cup of crushed pistachios. You just put it in a food processor. So about 1/2 cup of that. And 3 teaspoons of Parmesan, and I used the microplane on this. And the zest of a lemon. So we'll throw that in. And I'm just gonna grab a fork to mix that all up. All right, so we've got all our components here. So we have our wet mixture, our dry mixture, salt and pepper is really what you need here. Now, also I wanna mention, your oven should already be preheated to 400 degrees because that's what we had the potatoes cooking at. So, but if you're not making the potatoes, just make sure that your oven's at 400 degrees. With the salmon, when you take it out of the package, you want to make sure that you dry it off with a paper towel on both sides because we want it as dry as possible so that it's taking in all the flavors that we're adding to it. So we're going to go ahead and just lightly salt the top of each of the fillets. So a little bit of cracked black pepper as well. Then you want to take, I'm going to grab a spatch again, and we're going to drizzle this all over the fish evenly. line here, do a line here. Make sure it's all covered with the goodness. All right, so we're just gonna spread this around. This is the moisture that's gonna hold on your crust too. Then, can I have a assist on this? Would you like to help? This is an easy thing that you can have your kids help you with too if they're in the kitchen with you. So we have the dry, with the dry topping, and we're just gonna we can take our hand, put it on there, and just kind of sprinkle it all over. Oh, look at this, look how good that looks. All over, all over. Right. Once you have it all all over, just give it a little press so it kind of really adheres to the salmon. You want to put it in your 400-degree oven between 10 to 14 minutes. So I'm going to check it at about 12 minutes, just see if it looks done. And if you take a fork and you are able to flake the fish a bit, you know that it's done. All right, let's get it out of the oven. It's been about 14 minutes. Here's the salmon. Show you what it looks like. There you go. And what we want to do, how I know if fish is done, just take a little fork and you just want to kind of stab it with your fork to see if it's easy to flake. You know, and it just kind of flakes off. If it's not, then it's not done. But yeah, this is flaking nicely, so we know that it's done. Try to see like how big. Okay, do like one like that. And then two, I don't know how many, maybe like that. I'll loosen it up. I've got this on Silpat, but if you don't have a liner on your pan, you could put down a piece of parchment paper and that would work really nicely too. So there's your hot and delicious salmon. Take this over here and let's plate it up. Do our potatoes. Juicy. Okay, get a nice, see how this looks. There's our scalloped potatoes. There. All right. Okay. All right. Time to taste.
Did somebody say taste?
All right. You want to taste the salmon first?
Yes.
Okay. Taste the salmon first.
Good.
Yeah?
Yes. Delicious.
I think so too. The crust tastes really good. You can taste the pistachio, obviously. It's nice and salty, but not too salty, and you can taste that lemon too. Really easy way to make fish for the whole family. And it looks pretty too, right? Now, let's taste the potatoes, okay? Let's cut some. Yeah, you can have that piece. Good?
Amazing.
Amazing. I think it's pretty good too. I think it's a winner.
I never did.
The salmon is gone. But yeah, looks like a winner for us. I'm gonna go ahead and grill up some asparagus to go with it as well. And we're gonna have it for dinner tonight. So thank you again for stopping by, for everything that you do to support me. Thank you for subscribing. If you haven't already, consider subscribing and hit the like button. And share this with your friends. I know some of you have been doing that, and thank you for that as well. And we will see you next time.